How do actors support themselves between gigs? Can you be an actor and have a full-time job? Lucky for you, I have a full-time job, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. So just tell your actor anxiety to calm down. It's okay. It's going to be fine. Just keep watching. Hi there, I'm Whitney, a New York City-based actress, and welcome to my channel. Join me on my artistic journey with all of its ups and downs as I navigate a TV, film, and commercial acting career. Now for the drama, my past day jobs. Time to burn these companies. No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. I worked in arts administration. So what is arts administration? It's basically the business side of any artistic field that you can think of. So I worked everything from a small nonprofit dance education organization as their office manager, all the way up to the music education program at Carnegie Hall as a production manager. I took a break from acting and I worked in arts admin and had these full-time jobs for about 8 years. I was still dancing and performing part-time and still teaching. This allowed me to pay off all of my student loans, get a place by myself in New York City, and of course have health and benefits. I was able to get paid time off. Currently, I'm an arts educator and a dance instructor for a really amazing nonprofit organization. I love, as you can probably tell here, sharing the arts with everyone and teaching what I've learned along the way. I've been teaching dance since I was 15 years old, and I absolutely fell in love with arts education from that point on. When I got the job that I have now, I've had it for over 10 years now, but I started off as a teaching artist. So teaching opened that door for me, and I worked my way up, and now I have a director position that I'm really proud of. I helped co-found the Dance Academy, and I'm very, very close with the executive director, the founder of the organization. She knows that I'm an artist. She met me because I'm an artist, and she's supportive of my acting career. I have a very flexible schedule. It's based around when kids get out after school and when they're available on the weekends. Next, I thought I'd share the pros and the cons of working full-time jobs as an actor. So like with everything, full-time jobs has its pros and its cons. So let's go through those now. Pro, paid time off, also known as PTO. Cons, PTO is limited. It's usually you get a certain amount at the top of the year, maybe 2 weeks. And you also have to be approved by your boss, and you can't take off during like high volume times when there's a lot of work at your company. Pro number 2, salary. Money, 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 money. This regular steady income is huge. Obviously. Con, you give up time for money. So your time will be limited, but your bank account will be stuffed. Third pro, there are some fairly simple desk jobs out there. Con, I think that a lot of these offices, they have to validate your salary, so they make you come and sit, but you end up sitting sometimes a lot. There are slow times. If you're the kind of person like me who likes to get up and move around and doesn't like to waste time, that can be a little bit irritating, but you are being paid for that time. So fourth pro, you can audition during your lunch break. You know, your boss might let you step out the way that you step out for a doctor's appointment. They may let you step out for an audition. The con to that is I wouldn't do that too often until you've been there maybe 3 to 6 months and you built a rapport with your boss and your colleagues, so that and that your work is outstanding. Like you have to make sure your work is really good as well, so that there's no kind of weirdness around it. It can get weird. Pro 5, you can learn some really valuable business skills. I have a much better understanding, and I also can see when someone's a professional faster because I've worked in a professional environment. So I know right away if something is legit. I'm like, oh, hold on. Like, y'all don't even have your contracts together. You know, certain things like that I just, their correspondence and email. I'm like, this is not a person I'm, interested in working with based on how they're speaking to me in the email. All that came from practice, 8 years of practice of working those full-time jobs. One con to this, and this is a trap that I kind of fell into a little bit, don't lose sight of the fact that you are here as a means to an end, to continue to propel your acting career. When you kind of have your acting career and it's not producing the way you want to, and you're getting so many no's, it can feel a little bit depressing to not be getting the result you want from this career you love so much and you've put so much into, and then you go into work every day and they're saying, oh, you're patting the back, you're doing such a great job. Remember what makes you really happy. If that does make you happy, then that's great. Just don't get too caught up that you take on more responsibility than you can handle. When do you quit your full-time job for acting? I've asked this question to other actors that are several levels above me that work regularly, and the consensus across the board is that they still have jobs. They still have side hustles. They still work. They still have other ways that they earn money, whether they are teaching drama, whether they do have a day job, whether they have their own business, whether they wait tables, do Grubhub, whatever, they still have something else on the side. And think about it, celebrities do it all the time. Kate Hudson is a great example. She's an actor, right? But she has the Fabletics company. That is a side hustle. And there's nothing shameful about being able to support yourself and it doesn't mean that you're any less of an actor because you do have a day job. Mic died again. Here's my list of great full-time jobs for actors or artists. These are jobs that either I've worked or friends of mine have worked as well. Secretary, receptionist, office manager jobs. Skills needed: attention to detail, good with technology, good with people. Theater department, administrator or assistant. Skills needed: knowledge of theater, willingness to learn college protocol, and good with technology. Personal assistant / executive assistant. Skills needed: highly organized, good with technology, and good at managing schedules. Production assistant. Skills needed: production background and highly organized. This job can be challenging because it has a similar odd schedule the way that acting does as well. But I have heard and I know of actors that have had success working in production if they make it clear with the people they're working with early on that they are an actor. Teaching in the arts, skills needed: good with kids and patient. Very patient. I would not recommend though getting a full-time teaching job with the Department of Education. It's just very demanding. But a full-time teaching job with an arts company or with an education company, and they're looking for their dance specialist, they're looking for the theater specialist, they're looking for a music specialist, and you work after school every day and some weekends, that could work. And lastly, anything fully remote. Skills required, anything. The opportunities for working from home, working remotely, I think that's the way the world might be going. They are really expanding. Should I tell my boss that I'm an actor? That's a tough question. It really does depend on your situation. I really don't like to lie. I like to be honest about things, and you don't have anything to hide. What I have found works well for me is build a relationship with someone. I know my situation with my day job is a little different because I have had this great relationship with my boss over 10 years and we really are friends at this point. However, you do want to build a good relationship, a good working relationship, so they know that when you come back from whatever gig you're on or audition, or your work is good, that your work is up to par and it's pulled together. That's the recommendation that I would give, and that's what I have done. I hope this video was helpful for someone out there. Tell me down below in the comments, do you have a full-time job, a 9-to-5, a day job, or do you have a bunch of part-time jobs or one part-time job? Or are you living off of your actor's salary? Ooh, please do tell. Write it below in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and until next time, bye.